of parked semi-trucks line the lot, and most of them are still running. The sound is constant, low and mechanical, like a distant generator farm. Drivers are inside trying to sleep while the engines stay on. Now shift that same scene to a rest area in Germany. Same type of trucks, same night, same need for rest. But there is no engine noise. The lot is almost completely quiet. Same job, same weather conditions, same need for heating or cooling. Yet the outcome is completely different. And the reason is not what most people assume. At first glance, people tend to explain this gap with simple ideas like fuel prices or environmental attitudes. But those explanations fall apart quickly. Fuel in Europe is more expensive, not cheaper. So if anything, idling should be more common there if cost was the only factor. And American regulations against idling do exist across many states. Yet enforcement and behavior still don't match Europe's silence. So the difference is not just rules on paper. It is something deeper, built into how trucking systems evolved on each side of the Atlantic. One major turning point comes from Europe's legal structure around driver rest. Over time, European regulations evolved to require that long-haul drivers take their extended weekly rest periods outside the truck itself, in proper accommodation. This shaped expectations across the industry. Trucks were no longer designed to function as full living spaces for days at a time. Instead, they became short-term rest environments, not mobile homes. In the United States, the opposite model developed. Drivers are expected to spend extended periods on the road, often sleeping inside the cab for their entire schedule rotation. That single difference changes everything about truck design and energy use. Even so, that still doesn't fully explain why European trucks don't idle at night. Drivers still need heat in winter and cooling in summer. The key difference comes from a technology that became standard in Europe decades ago: independent cabin heating systems. Instead of running the main engine, many European trucks use small fuel-powered heaters designed specifically for parking situations. These systems draw a very small amount of diesel and produce enough heat to keep the cab comfortable without engaging the engine at all. These heaters work by burning a controlled, low flow of fuel in a compact chamber and distributing warm air through the cabin. The main engine remains off the entire time. Some versions also warm the engine coolant, which helps the truck start more efficiently the next morning, without a cold start. Compared to idling a full diesel engine, the fuel difference is dramatic. A running truck engine can burn multiple liters of fuel per hour, even while stationary, while these heaters use a fraction of that amount over the same period. Across an overnight rest period, that difference becomes significant. Instead of burning large volumes of diesel just to maintain comfort, European trucks rely on systems designed specifically for low-energy operation during parking. Over time, this became standard equipment in much of Europe. In many cases, it is installed at the factory rather than added later. The result is a trucking environment where keeping the engine running overnight is simply unnecessary for comfort or survival in cold conditions. In the United States, adoption of similar systems exists, but is not universal. Some trucks use auxiliary power units or battery-based systems, but a large portion of the fleet still relies on engine idling for heating, cooling, and onboard electricity. One reason is cost structure. Installing full independent systems adds upfront expense, and not every operator invests in them immediately. As a result, the fleet remains split between modern systems and older practices. This mixed adoption keeps overnight idling common across many regions. Another major factor is truck design itself. European regulations historically limited total vehicle length, which pushed manufacturers toward cab-over-engine layouts. The driver sits above the engine, and the entire truck is designed to be compact. In the United States, longer total vehicle lengths are allowed. So trucks evolved with extended hoods and larger sleeper cabins. These sleeper sections often function like small living spaces, equipped with beds, storage, and appliances. That difference changes energy needs. A compact European cab is easier to heat efficiently. A larger American sleeper behaves more like a small apartment on wheels. This divergence is not accidental. It developed over decades of regulation, geography, and infrastructure design. European manufacturers invested early in compact heating systems because space efficiency was critical. Companies like Webasto and Eberspacher built early versions of these heaters in the mid-20th century. and the technology gradually became standard across the industry. In the United States, diesel fuel was historically cheaper. Truck stops were widely available, and long-haul culture normalized engine idling as part of daily life. Those conditions reduced pressure to fully replace it. Today, the outcome of those choices is visible every night on highways across both continents. In Europe, trucks are engineered to shut down completely during rest periods, while maintaining comfort through dedicated systems. In the United States, many trucks still rely on the engine itself to provide the same functions. This creates different fuel consumption patterns, different maintenance wear, and different operating costs across entire logistics networks. What looks like a simple difference in noise at a rest stop is actually the result of decades of engineering decisions, legal frameworks, and economic incentives. Two trucking systems evolved in parallel, but took different paths. One prioritized compact design and auxiliary systems early. The other allowed larger vehicles and more flexible onboard living, which made engine idling more common. Neither system is randomly inefficient. Each reflects the constraints and choices that shaped it over time. If this sparked a thought you've never had before, drop it in the comments. Those ideas often shape what we explore next. Some of the best stories here begin with a question someone else was brave enough to ask first, so don't hold yours back. Thanks for being part of this journey through the hidden layers of everyday things, the ordinary details that turn out to be anything but ordinary. If you enjoy uncovering the stories hiding in plain sight, you'll probably want to stick around for what comes next. Like, share, and subscribe to Simple History of Things. Turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.